2nd and 4 for the Terps. As Statham gets Allen a little bit closer for pass protection, sends him out on a pattern. Statham, that's something that didn't happen well. Derek Fenner was in the general vicinity, but that didn't quite work out.
I tell you, the coaches are screaming at him on the sideline, stick with it. He went to a pump and go. He checked to an audible to the short side of the field. Suter was covered pretty well, and he came back to the field area and threw an ill-advised throw, something a young quarterback cannot do.
Fenner is a terrific athlete who has not yet caught a pass. Rich Parson and JoJo Walker, the only guys to catch passes in the first half. Of course, they only completed 2 of them. So now 3rd and 4, big play for both sides to start off the second half. Pressure, Statham, no. Coming across the middle was Vernon Davis, a very talented tight end that the Terps are excited about, but that one was not even close.
They had some pressure in his face. Kevin McLean came free. Running back picked him up. He still got to the quarterback, put a hit on him. There's one thing, Coach Breach is going to talk to his young quarterback and say, listen, this is not a hard football game. It's not a very difficult football game. I was going to talk to the tight end and see where you open that play. Can you drag harder across the field? But this offense is going to have success only if the quarterback has success for Maryland.
So Maryland had it 2nd and 4. Interesting that they would go with 2 straight passing plays instead of trying to run and get a first down that way. Adam Podlish had a 50-yard punt first time. And boy, that one just trickles in as he was hoping that it would die, but West Virginia takes over from the 20. Just last week, Notre Dame pulled off a huge upset against Michigan. Tonight, Darius Walker and the Fighting Irish try to build on that as they meet Michigan State at 6:55 Eastern on ESPN. And then at 10 Eastern on ESPN, Matt Leinart and #1 USC visits BYU at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Notre Dame, Michigan State also available in high definition on ESPN HD. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. And Maryland, hard to believe that 7 wins in a row would put you in the top 4 of active winning streaks in Division 1A, but that is where they stand with the 7 straight wins. K.J. Harris, 98 yards in the first half, and he loses a couple on his first carry of the second half. William Kershaw coming up to make the stop for Maryland.
Nice job by Chris Kelly, also kind of forcing the hand of the offense. He came out of the secondary and made it an 8-man front. Found nullified to run by K.J. Harris there.
And Chris Kelly is quite a story for Maryland, #2 on defense. His first year as a strong safety, came to the Terps as a very highly regarded quarterback, but tore his ACL 3 times and decided he wanted to play, so they switched him to defense, and he's done a good job. 2nd and 12 as Marshall barks out some changes. Kelly coming on the safety blitz. He's picked up, completed to Chris Henry for the first down. Dominique Foxworth in on the coverage, but Henry picks up 18.
Well, they had a lot of time to get the play called correctly. Chris Henry gets free down the field to bring in a maximum blitz to protect him with 8. Good throw and catch by Marshall and Henry. Again, he's just stemming to the inside, a quick 5-step slant route. No one in the middle of the field. Well-executed play.
So Henry, with just his 2nd catch of the day. Dominique Foxworth, fascinating young man for Maryland on the coverage. Graduated in only 3 years. Harris puts his head down, and boy, he's tough to tackle. Harris finally goes down, but he picks up about 6.
You know what happens, Pam, once he gets through the line of scrimmage to that second layer where the linebackers are, these safeties come flying up there, and he's getting his pads lower than the defender, and he's rocking some people around back there. Inside zone play to the left side, pulling the guard around. Jackson trying to get a pound in there. Look at Kelly trying to sniff in there. Just a hard-running tailback for the Mountaineers.
And with that run, KJ is over 100 yards for the 2nd time this season and the 2nd time in his career. KJ again, and he's stopped by Dequel Jackson. Jackson now with 10 tackles, but Jackson a big, strong, good tackler, and KJ carries him for a little while. Just amazed by the strength of KJ Harris.
You know, we talked about maybe his endurance as the game gets longer here, Pam. He's shown no signs. His pad level's getting down. He's bending his knees, and he's hitting the defenders as he's rising through the tackle.
Another first down for West Virginia. 1st and 10 from their own 46. They scored way back in the first quarter. Harris on a 7-yard touchdown run. That was set up by a 21-yard interception return by Pac-Man Jones. 1 of 2 picks for him, and this time Harris goes down in the backfield. KJ stopped by William Kershaw. Kershaw's had a pretty active day as well. That's his 5th tackle. Let's go down to Dave Ryan for even more on KJ.
Yeah, but I did speak with WVU coach Rich Rodriguez about KJ. Very pleased, pleasantly, with his ability to overcome his hamstring problems you guys were just talking about, to run hard, be a physical back. The trainers, along with the coaches this week, really devoted a lot of time to try to convince KJ the hamstring wasn't as bad as he thought.
And I think maybe KJ believes, and that's tipped away by Dequel Jackson, who got in the middle to knock down that pass. And again, KJ Harris hurting that hamstring, just 2 carries last week. And we talked to him yesterday. He was a little bit upset. The coaches were saying that it was more of a mental thing, and I think they're not saying that it was a psychosomatic thing, but what Rich Rodriguez and his staff and also the team doctor believing that he couldn't hurt it anymore by playing, but KJ had to believe that. And KJ told us yesterday, I know my body, and I'm really kind of scared about playing on this thing.
And that's the important point. Number 1 has to feel comfortable about playing, and obviously he's doing a nice job here this afternoon.
3rd and 14, West Virginia's converted 6 of 11, but this is a long one. Coming right up the middle, Marshall again gets away from pressure, and Rasheed Marshall, the senior, picking up a ton of yardage.
We saw this happen twice now. Rasheed Marshall just slipper in the pocket. He has a good feel for where the defenders are. Why don't you go back in the pocket with him? He's sitting back there, no one's open. Here comes the pressure. Scoots out to his right. Doesn't worry about tucking the football because he sees no defender coming. Nice job turning back inside, getting positive yards for this Mountaineer offense.
And you see at the end there, a lot of quarterbacks would slide down, but Marshall just stayed up and took a fairly good hit.
Yeah, he's not going to get hit head on. He'll get down and lower center of gravity a little bit. 9
rushes for 37 yards, but that's skewed because he's lost 24 yards on sacks, which I think is dumb in the college game, and it counts against your rushing. It counts against your passing yards in the National Football League as Colson gets the carry. David Holloway makes the stop. But Rasheed Marshall, again, closing in on the all-time record in the Big East for rushing yards by a quarterback. Donovan McNabb currently holds that. Marshall over 1,300 career rushing yards, even though he's never had a 100-yard game rushing. He's just been a consistent threat. Of course, he's been starting for 3 years, got quite a bit of playing time also as a freshman.
Well, he hasn't had to go over 100 yards because he's got those big tailbacks behind him.
They've done some good things with the tailbacks here at West Virginia, that's for sure. Great talent. 2nd and 6. There's one of the talented tailbacks. They call them superbacks. That's KJ Harris, already over 100 yards, picks up 2 more.
You know, without that big run by Rasheed Marshall, I think this Maryland defense came out well with their plan in the second half. They're crowding the line of scrimmage. The initial penetration is really hurting this West Virginia offense, but with a big run like Marshall had just previously, allows this offense to keep on clicking.
It's got to be frustrating for Gary Blackney. And his team is getting West Virginia into some 3rd and longs, but Marshall has been converting with his feet on a couple of them. This is a 3rd and 4. And Marshall throwing downfield. Chris Kelly with the coverage. As once again Marshall was looking downfield. That's for Eddie Jackson. But boy, Chris Kelly, again, he's the converted quarterback who has really done a good job. I think a pleasant surprise for the Terrapins as he has turned now into a strong safety, and there he showed good cover skills.
Yeah, he could see what the quarterback's doing back there because he sees the development of the routes. One guy goes vertical, the second guy's coming inside.
Brad Cooper now from 45 yards out. He missed wide right, a 39-yarder on the second to the last play of the first half that would have given West Virginia a 10-3 lead. And just like in the first half, the wind is at his back. Maryland calling a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Maryland.
So when we come back, Brad Cooper tries to give West Virginia a 7-point lead. Brad Cooper going for a 45-yard field goal. He missed from 39. Hit that one wide right late in the first half. He kicked a 54-yarder last week. And that one is true. Cooper throwing up his arms almost right away as West Virginia extends its lead now to 7 over Maryland. So Rich Rodriguez and the rest of the Mountaineers have had a rather frustrating day. Many opportunities to score, and finally, Cooper knocks one home. The lead is 10-3, Mountaineers. Mountaineers have something to cheer about now as Brad Cooper has hit a 45-yard field goal to give them a 10-3 lead over Maryland, and the 23-yard run by Rasheed Marshall on 3rd and long, helping to keep that drive alive. Big plays. Done that a couple of times now on 3rd and longs.
And Coach Blackney's over there talking to those guys. You got to wrap this guy. You got to hit him high and you got to hit him low and hold on to him.
So Cooper kicking off. Steve Suter gets it about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and he's coming out. He's hurt them in years past on returns, and he does it again. Steve Suter carries it all the way out to the 47-yard line. Brad Cooper, the kicker, helping to scooch him out of bounds. And, you know, you wonder why you even kick the ball close to this guy.
Well, not only kick it close to him, kick it out of the end zone. This guy just so elusive. He's smooth when he's running up the field. He's got great vision. He sees about 180 degrees around him. Sets up blockers real well. And just does. It's a positive play for the offense. It's the first play of offense. Now hopefully Maryland gets something going with the young quarterback, Joel Statham.
Yeah, they really needed a big play, and Suter gives them excellent field position as they mark it on the 48. First down, Maldonado. Actually, Statham keeps it with the good fake to Maldonado, and Statham picks up the first down as we go back to Matt Weiner.
Hi, Pam. The storm is cleared in South Florida. Nothing but sunshine and big smiles against Louisiana Tech. Matt Butler nearly got the punt blocked. Probably might as well, because Devin Hester's going to go ahead and house this thing. Somehow keeps his balance. He'll take it 51 yards all the way to the end zone. It is 24-0 Canes.
It'll be a long day for Louisiana Tech. And here, Maryland 1st and 10. Statham running for the first down, and now the officials, the ACC officiating crew, talk some things over now. Maryland into West Virginia territory.
Will the electric scoreboard operator please reset the game clock? 7 minutes, 26 seconds. Please.
Very polite request from Ron Cherry, our ACC crew, is that they're going to run 5 seconds off the clock. Pretty please.
It always works better when you use your manners.
Yes.
Always.
So Maryland 1st and 10 from the 40. Joel Statham struggling throwing the football. A nice run to pick up this first down for the Terps. Maldonado in the backfield. This time he does get it, and he is stacked up in the backfield. Kevin McLean with the big push as they lose yards. Let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Well, Pam, there is some good news here on the Maryland sideline. Receiver Rich Parson is back on the field. Remember, he went for x-rays in the first half of the back injury. The bad news, he is out for the game with that problem. X-rays were negative. No fracture, but he's in a lot of pain and done for the day, Pam.
Well, at least, Rhino, there is nothing broken there for Parson. It's a senior, one of the leaders on this team from Newark, Delaware, which actually is the home of the University of Delaware, but he came to Maryland to play ball. He's a senior. 2nd and 10, no gain on Maldonado's last run. Now they flare him out of the backfield, and he's down. Maryland going backwards. A terrific defensive play from Mike Lorello.